So this will be interesting to see how Mirage plays out. I also think it is worth pointing out as well, as the desk was saying, Disco Doplan has struggled so far throughout this qualifier, so if he can step up, that's something that GODSENT could really use just to make them that slightly better team in terms of overall firepower. And here we go, straight underway into our first match of the day, into the pistol round, and we are going to see Hampus get a P250 smoke and flash, whereas AVANGAR just with the one kit. And here we go into this first round. GODSENT going to go out towards B apartments. Hampus is waiting around A. It looks like Demasic is going to go pushing in towards him here. Demasic just straight up takes that fight and gets the first frag. It's a really useful opening play because it allows AVANGAR to stick two players at B, and Buster gets a great shot, makes it a second. Oh, Buster makes it all 4 frags. That is incredible from Buster. Such precision there on the shots. And GODSENT just get completely shut down in the pistol. Well then, maybe GODSENT won't have as good of a time as some of us may have thought. Remember, they won this series 2-0 last time they played. But it might not be that easy for them this time around because Buster looks on point. It's also worth pointing out, Buster has been the best performer for AVANGAR throughout this qualifier. He has been the standout player for them, even though they haven't had too much success. So him getting off to a good start is exactly what AVANGAR would have been looking for. Gonna see GODSENT now with the Deegs. Disco Doplan gonna get that first entry. Oh, he makes it a second. These pistols doing a lot of damage as Twist also chimes in with a frag. Kicker finally gonna trade back with a kill, but the Deegs overwhelm him. And this is going to be AVANGAR throwing away an early lead that they could have gained. Critson has to try and clutch a 1v4, and I just don't think that's going to be happening. There we go. Twist comes in for the final kill. And the Swedes come right back at AVANGAR. Very, very surprising start to this matchup. And there we go. Disco Doplan this time around is the man making the plays. So good to see him step up. He was someone we did kind of point out. He needs to have a good performance, and that has started here. But heading into round 3, we just saw GODSENT win with the pistols. Let's see what AVANGAR can do with mostly pistols and the one scout for Jame. Ooh, quick tag from Jame. Hampus down to 12 HP. Surprising amount of damage done early, and GODSENT going to go for a fast-paced push out towards B. There goes Freddy getting that first entry quite easily, and there's no one else here. Freddy just taps off another head. Those 2 entries should effectively win the round, with the rest of AVANGAR being stuck outside the B site. So there we go. GODSENT this time make sure that they don't sort of get caught off guard by the pistols, and they just go for that fast-paced B play. That's all they needed to get the round win. Ooh, Demasic lands another tag there. Twist, only the one frag on the hold. We're going to see the rifles attempted to be saved, and they look good to do so with Roland getting that kill. It's only Demasic left. He can probably save a scout and a CZ, but other than that, not really too much going for AVANGAR, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue for them. And there comes a quick trade. So GODSENT managed to take away that gun. Nothing saved for AVANGAR. They're just going to have to invest very little into this round. So it should be GODSENT coming out to that quick lead. Considering they lost their pistol, they will be very happy to have overturned that early deficit. Well, you can see on the map, AVANGAR all grouped up with the pistols. Despite the dink coming in there, Hampus survives. He wins that fight. And GODSENT just going to walk onto the B site yet again. Very similarly to the previous round. Disco Doplan needs to be a little careful here. If he loses this rifle, it would likely be picked up. He is by himself. It doesn't look like that's going to be a massive consideration because Kickert is the only man left. Should be finished off, although he spots the shadow and gets a quick double dink. That was nicely done to get the AK into his hands, and Kickert does get a second kill before he falls. Not too bad, and Twist, oh, just about upgrades to the AK. I was going to say it looked like he wasn't going to get there in time, but he manages to find it. So heading into this 5th round, it's going to be finally a full buy for both teams. A little bit of a delayed one due to that force buy being won early into this matchup. Jame out towards mid, nearly had the chance for an entrance there with that AWP. No peek comes in towards him though, so no damage done to start the round. GODSENT again leaning towards B. We've seen them hit this site a couple of times against the pistols. This would be a very fast-paced play though. Against the rifles, they're going to take this risk. Going out towards the B site, GODSENT trying to get it done, but Kicker only gets the 1 kill. Even trades are pretty good for GODSENT here. They're going to get the bomb down. In a 3v3, this is quite a good position to be. There goes that Molotov. The push is coming in. Let's go Doplan holding on the site, but his teammate has fallen. And Jame also chimes in with a frag to leave Hampus 1v3. And the bomb is planted safe, so Hampus needs a quick kill. Looking for something. The jump comes in. The defuse was coming out. And Hampus was never really going to win from that position. I guess without the defuse kit, maybe there was a chance. But still, it was going to be incredibly tough for him. And AVANGAR do manage to get the retake to go their way. GODSENT still have plenty of money for the buy, so that's not a massive concern for them. And they're also going to get an AWP for Twist, which could be quite pivotal for them. He's certainly one of the standout performers on the GODSENT side, so we'll get to see what damage he can do now that he has the AWP into his hands for the first time. Well, he's not going to get anything done because Jame gets that opening frag. That was surprising there. Twist, I think, got to that angle first, and yet Jame still wins that duel. And now Freddy B just has to recover the AWP and play things safe because GODSENT are already 1 man down. Looks like the bomb is currently rerouting over towards A. There are currently 2 players on the AVANGAR side pushed in towards A ramp. So GODSENT are going to have to overcome that, which might not be too easy. Roland is in towards connector, but you can see AVANGAR with such a stack. But what? Freddy B gets a no-scope, I believe. The trade does come out, and Buster is also here to get another frag. So it doesn't look like it's going to lead to anything massively for GODSENT, especially as Demasik gets that headshot. Really nicely done by him to keep his cool while the flames burn around him. But still, that no-scope from Freddy, a little bit surprising, but again, it doesn't lead to anything, even with that little bit of luck. GODSENT just gets shut out on the A play. A good read from AVANGAR to go for the stack. And now GODSENT only having the 1 AK to play with in this round. Disco Doplan is going to have an incredible performance. He's currently out towards Palace alone. Jane, in the meantime, goes for the aggression. He does get taken down, but the rest of AVANGAR are cleaning up. Just going to be Hampus and Disco left already. I believe Disco Doplan has gone aggressive out through Palace, but not sure if he's going to get the angle for a frag. Well, there we go. He does. Demasik not quite expecting that position. So we go back to a 2-on-3, which could be dangerous. As Disco Doplan gets a second kill. He's brought it to a 2v2, but still GODSENT not grouped up. And that means that Hampus will be picked off towards mid. The bomb dropped down. And this AK has to do all the work. It's not going to be able to do it. Kritson wins that duel. And AVANGAR will take an early lead after winning the pistol and then losing to the Force. They are back in control. However, their money hasn't been built up that well, so it's not exactly all that convincing from AVANGAR. Quite a few close rounds already. GODSENT have the AKs yet again. GODSENT going to go for some mid presence early. And those nades have forced a Vanguard back. James is also AWPing in towards a ramp, so he could be in trouble depending on the timing of the push. Twist is now coming in, but James is just holding this position. He misses the shot, though. That's a critical miss. James really needed that opening frag, but he does make up for it with a second. Oh, James doubles down from the site. Freddy B has to turn back around and does get that frag. So it is down to a 3-on-3, and Freddy B making the difference as Disco Dotlan also chimes in. Demasic gets one headshot. He needs this second, and he does find it. Demasic gets all 3 kills. GODSENT just did not expect him to still be under Palace. And AVANGAR managed to keep their win streak going. What a play from Demasic there. GODSENT just had no idea he was in that position. That allowed him to take 3 one-on-one fights. That really allowed him to win the round there. That was the main factor. Massive credit to him. He had to win 3 one-on-one fights, which isn't easy, but he managed to pull it off. And AVANGAR keep on going. So, thanks to Demasic, AVANGAR again have GODSENT pretty much where they want them. Down onto pistols, and with almost no nades to play with. Ooh, Twist nearly had the chance for an opening kill there. James goes down to about half HP. Meantime, Disco Dotlan again with this Deagle is working the A side of the map. As the flash goes out towards B, AVANGAR might not be prepared for this one. Roland going to get that first pick, and Freddy B spraying away with the Deag. Eventually gets that headshot. In comes James, but he misses that shot again. They're going to push to the site quickly, but Freddy B may have heard those steps. Oh, Freddy B gets a very quick flick. And now it's James who has to clutch a 1v2. The P250 comes out for a second. Disco Dotlan just needs one shot. James is incredibly low on health. James peeking in and out. There's still a smoke towards the bomb, but he doesn't know where Disco is. Out goes the flash. James fakes the defuse, and Disco Dotlan might have to pull the trigger. Indeed, he does. James, oh, gets the shot. I think James might have just done it. There is just about, I think, enough time. Yes, there is. Great play by James there. Faking the defuse, forced the shots to come out. It forced Disco to give away his position. And that allowed the round to be won. Yet again, AVANGAR play it close, but they just about get the round win. For what it's worth there, Disco Dotlan was very close to the site. There was the option. Okay then, well, never mind. Kicker gets that opening kill. What is going on here? AVANGAR, against the gun round, get all the entries they needed. 3 kills before the round has even really begun. And GODSENT starting to really crumble on their T side. That's not something you'd expect to see from GODSENT. They were looking quite well prepared earlier on in this game. But maybe losing so many close rounds has frustrated them, because they just looked like they were desperate there to make a play, and it didn't work for them. I mean, to be fair, that first kill out towards mid was a little bit lucky, but the other players, you can see, just going for desperate pushes, like Hampus there, just walking through the smoke. I think it's probably time GODSENT called for a timeout here, because that round there is a fairly brutal one to lose. Not getting a single kill between them. And heading into round 11, it's again only pistols to play with. Looks like GODSENT are going to lean towards A. This is where Disco Dotlan has been finding quite a lot of success with the pistol, with the Deag specifically. So with the full-on play coming in, there's a decent chance they could get some kills. And here we go, Brolan sprays them both. The CZ gets up close and gets 2 kills as a reward. Really nice utility usage there. The flashes force the CTs back. and that allowed the CZ to get up close exactly where it wants to be. In the meantime, Buster is going to get 1 kill back on the retake. So we go to a 3v3, and there's only 1 AK recovered. Hampus there, forced into the open, doing the damage. A very awkward fight. It's GODSENT to come out on top, and now Brolan has to get the ace. He's got a 3k on the round, but they know where he is. They're going to lock him down. James is even coming in with the AWP. He's only on 6 HP, but he gets the shot. And there should be enough time for the defuse. It's a little bit close, but GODSENT with the kit will get it through. And that is now AVANGAR winning 7 rounds in a row. I think it's fair to say GODSENT will be quite frustrated they haven't got more rounds together, because there have been quite a few rounds that AVANGAR have managed to pull off crazy clutches. Just taking a quick glance at the scoreboard, James up there at the top with 12 kills, followed quickly by Buster, also in double digits on 10. GODSENT again are going to go for the mid presence. This has been given to them fairly consistently, and oh, Freddy B gets that spray through the smoke to open up the round. In the meantime, Brolan is pushing through connector. He's going for the aggressive push. Oh, it doesn't quite work for him. He nearly got that frag, but Demasik survives on a slither of health. So it is AVANGAR with the man advantage for the time being, although Twist has the AWP in hand. He might be looking to make a play with that. Oh, GODSENT just straight up peeks Twist with the AWP and takes his head clean off. Oh my god, Buster, what are you doing, buddy? He's just shot his teammate down very, very low. Luckily, not full-on embarrassment. The team kill doesn't come in. It's only Freddy B left. Still a 1v4, even if Demasik is very low. AVANGAR look pretty happy to just hold their positions. Freddy B will slowly make some moves. The bomb may be picked up, and he spots the man. Fortunately for him, the timing wasn't quite right. So it looks as though this switch up from AVANGAR has very much paid off. First picking Mirage seems to be working for them. Freddy B, okay, that's a very easy kill. I'm surprised to see Demasik go so aggressive there. I think if he wants to go for a play like that, he probably needs the backup of his team. And you can see James is positioned towards mid, but he's watching underpass rather than helping the top mid push. So that's a little bit surprising. Nonetheless, a man advantage is what GODSENT would have been looking for, but it's not going to last for too long because James gets that frag back. Freddy B is the man caught off guard after getting that first entry. So we're going to go back to an even position. 4v4 with a little under a minute left on the clock. GODSENT again look focused towards that A site. If you take a quick glance at the map, you can see AVANGAR have a much heavier presence towards this A site. So GODSENT, they're going to have their utility be on point. If these Molotovs do land correctly, that could allow them the entries they need to claim the site. However, it's still going to be a difficult one to crack, with 3 players focused around A for the CTs. Here we go, 25 seconds, and Hampus picks off ahead, and Twist also chimes in with a frag. Those 2 kills are all they needed to claim the A site, and Twist takes another fight. There we go, that's the aggression you like to see from Twist. He's been a little quiet so far, but he finally makes the play work for him, and he also gets an AWP to recover as a reward. Buster can't do much except for try to save, and that won't be an option. Twist gets 3 frags in this round. And finally, GODSENT put a stop to that winning streak. That is what they needed. And finally as well, it's Twist who shows up. He doubled his kills just from that 1 round alone. It was only at 3 frags prior to that one. Interestingly enough here, Disco Doplan has been given the AWP for the GODSENT side. Twist generally has been AWPing for the team, but Twist has always been a bit of a strange AWPer. Especially on the AWP, it feels to me like it's a gun that you do need to have the full-on confidence to really use all of the time. And Twist sometimes seems like he wants to rifle. He doesn't seem like he necessarily always wants the pressure of being that AWPer. Maybe he just thinks he's better with the AK, but it does kind of sometimes come back to cost him when he's not feeling on form. So giving Disco Doplan the AWP might be a decent option, especially considering he's having a fairly good game so far. But I would, I think, prefer to see Twist generally just go for the primary AWP. Either commit to the primary AWP most of the time, or just decide to rifle, because he's kind of doing a bit of both right now, and it's a little bit worrying to see when that AWP is so confidence-based, if you like. Either way, enough about that. We're going to have to focus on this specific round, because again, AVANGAR's reads look to be on point. They've got 3 players stacked towards B, but again, the trades are going to go the way of GODSENT. This is looking very reminiscent of the previous round, as Disco Doplan gets a second entry. There we go, that T-side AWP does pay off for Disco. And maybe giving it to him rather than Twist was the correct call. Jame and Demasic are just going to have to fall back. And despite AVANGAR, again, having a very good read in terms of stacking towards the right site, they don't get the round win this time. However, with 9 rounds on the board already, I think they'll be fairly content with their CT side performance. And again, you take a quick look at the scoreboard, and Jame up there with 16 kills and only 6 deaths. He's got to be loving life right now. The rest of the team not quite doing as well, but everyone's at least having a decent showing in terms of the frags. So here we go, the last round of the half. And AVANGAR, they're not quite going to have as strong of a buy as they may have liked, but with those 2 guns saved, oh sorry, I think even 3 guns saved. No, 2 guns saved. It's still going to be decent enough for them. One of those guns being the AWP of Jame, who gets an opening tag. Hampus down to 18 HP. GODSENT currently just holding back, although they do have almost no presence out towards A. So that does seem to give the idea that they're likely to go for a fast B push. See Hampus working connector, and he gets that opening kill. In the meantime, though, there's 3 players again stacked towards B. Critson not going to get that opening, but Jame is here with the AWP. He's going to get that first kill, and in the meantime, Buster doubles down over towards short to leave Disco Doplan in a 1v3. He's got the AWP in hand, but he doesn't for much longer, because Jame is going to win the battle of the AWPers and give AVANGAR double digits at the half. Impressive scoreline for AVANGAR. Even if they did have to rely on clutches for quite a few rounds, they got the round wins, and you can't really complain about that. A very strong half for them on their CT side, but it's yet to be seen if they can convert on their T side. That's the question on everyone's minds, and I think they will be, again, pretty happy with the position they are in. They will think they should be able to close it out. Let's see if they can live up to our expectations. Interesting. AVANGAR just going to go for 5 sets of Kevlar. You don't often see that on Mirage, because especially on Mirage, the utility is quite important. Just to get a few smokes out, get a few flashes into cut off some positions. I would say the one place that those nades aren't necessarily as sort of required would be out towards B. But we're not going to see them go for that B push. They're going to try and go for the mid presence. Again, in a position like this, you would think it would be helpful to have a smoke, just to smoke off short. but they are going to boost in towards window. Maybe that is the switch up that AVANGAR were hoping for. You can see, though, as they work their way up through connector, it could have been awkward, but Buster is up towards short, so he is making sure that position is covered. And here we go. Where is Freddy B looking? He has no idea they're through connector, and Freddy B will be taken down. A little bit of miscommunication there, perhaps, from the GODSENT side, as Twist was already taken out from the push. Yeah, Freddy B still didn't really seem to have a clue where they were coming from. Looks like Disco Doplan has got 2 very quick kills back, but Kritsen just assassinates Disco with 1 bullet to the face. Fuse coming in. Brolan does have the kit. He's sticking the bomb, but Kritsen comes in. That's the risk of buying the kit. You don't have the Kevlar, and so the chest shots do enough damage to win AVANGAR. That all-important pistol, and that might just be enough to take them over the line here in this first map. Assuming they don't lose to pistols now, they're going to have a 13-5 lead. And you would think that would be almost insurmountable from the GODSENT perspective. Either way, we've seen GODSENT have a few decent showings with these pistols in the past, so you can't underestimate them too much. Disco Dotman certainly got quite a few nice Deeg kills in that first half. I'm going to see a few players just waiting patiently around the mid area. I think I like this setup from GODSENT because they're just waiting for AVANGAR to go for the pushes first. They're just kind of trying to bait them in, and then once AVANGAR are too far pushed up, then they can get the frags. With the guns likely being able to be recovered as well. If Brolan got a kill there, he would likely be able to pick up the gun. Either way, with a minute left, unfortunately for GODSENT, looks like AVANGAR are just going to go for the straight-up A play. Oh, not the best molly from Kritsen. Bounces off his teammate, but there we go. Shouldn't really be a massive issue. There goes Jame getting a quick kill out towards mid. Again, Jame was holding off towards mid, so he was getting a lot of information. He could have heard those steps, and Quickert. Don't think you can wallbang that, but he gets the kill eventually. And AVANGAR do close out the round. 12-5. Heading into round 18. GODSENT shouldn't really have anything to work with. That's the round they really needed to rely on. And unfortunately for them, their gamble didn't quite pay off. As soon as the A-push came in, they couldn't really do anything about it. GODSENT, well, they're going to take the gamble. 5 USPs holding out towards mid. You can get a nice little selfie there. They're all side by side. Ooh, Brolan does get that kill. Quick double dink with the USP. Hampus falls back by the flames, and Disco Dotlan had the chance there to win a fight. It's not going to go his way, though, and Kritsen just going to mop up the anti-eco kills. Just padding those stats up to 17 kills on the scoreboard. And AVANGAR up to 13 rounds on the scoreboard. They will be delighted with how Mirage has gone for them. And not over the line just yet, though. GODSENT have a buy together. It's not exactly the strongest of buys, with no defuse kit and no AWP to speak of. But it's what they're going to have to rely on right now. Roland going to get that quick headshot. Push coming out towards A, and Freddy B is also in position for that frag. James has come through connector, though. This SMG doing a lot of damage. The 1 UMP kept into this round is going to get the only 2 frags for AVANGAR up until this point. And James could still do some more damage because he's going to sneak in towards CT. Disco Dotland, though, may just hunt him down. If the timing is right, this could be a free frag, and Disco Dotlan nearly gets the kill, but doesn't quite find the spray down. Nonetheless, that gives them the info they needed, but Kickert gets a kill elsewhere. Roland is going to find the trade, but the bomb has been picked up. Kickert, though, unfortunately, is going to be out in the open and exposed from all angles. So there we go. GODSENT get another round on the board. However, even with that round win, you can see their money doesn't look great. Whereas AVANGAR will have a perfect buy in their side of things. I mean, GODSENT Spy is certainly still good. The only thing really missing is the AWP, which is quite important on Mirage on the CT side. Sometimes you will see teams even go for the double AWPs if they want to have one of them just sort of focus towards B apartments. Just having the option to have an AWP gives a lot more options, but kick hurts. 1 bullet, 1 kill. You can't complain about that. Demasic also chimes in with a headshot. Finally, Twist going to get the eventual trade, but the damage may have already been done. It's a man advantage for AVANGAR, and with plenty of nades left, one smoke in towards Twist position could get them the bomb site. Oh, great flash as well for GODSENT to get yet another headshot with an AK. Buster going to come in. It's all headshots for AVANGAR. And it might just be all over for GODSENT on this first map. There we go. Twist gets a kill back. Ooh, makes it a second. AVANGAR maybe underestimating Twist a little bit here because they did fight him 1 by 1. Twist is going to need the ace, but as the Molotov comes in, that could have worked out for him. But Buster is just one man too many to deal with. AVANGAR will get an even bigger lead. 14-6 up. And at this point, GODSENT are absolutely desperate. They would take a round win wherever they could find it at this point. You can see their buy again, not looking great. I guess the question we have to ask ourselves now is, what does this sort of say about how this series is going to go? I thought Mirage would be quite a close map, but doesn't seem to be the case. I mean, AVANGAR certainly have had a good record on Mirage in the past. They played it quite a lot at that major qualifier. And sure, they didn't get too many wins on it, but they did manage to beat Renegades, which is quite an impressive result. Whereas GODSENT, they don't really play Mirage too often. They lost against Ecstatus recently. So I think it's fair enough that GODSENT can afford to lose this map. But they're going to have to make sure they have a much better performance on Overpass, because a couple of the individuals not quite showing up. It's mainly been Hampus really struggling, as there we go. He does finally step up for that frag. Made it look a little bit more difficult than it needed to be, but he does give his team the man advantage. And there we go, a couple of rifles recovered for GODSENT. Maybe this is the miracle round they needed. 3v2, but unfortunately for GODSENT, without a kit and without the A site, this round is actually going to be quite difficult to win. You can see now they're finally moving back into position. Twist has an AWP in hand while his teammates have the AKs, but Demasic holding off CT gets a quick headshot. Back to a 2-on-2, and with the bomb being planted, Demasic's in a great position to watch that. As Kickhurt finds a sloppy spray down, but he gets the kill he needed. Twist does get the frag back, but he doesn't know where Demasic is. And without the kit, more importantly, he doesn't have the time to work with. So even though GODSENT get up to the man advantage, a good reaction from AVANGAR just to walk onto the A site. And that will get them their 15th on the board. I guess the one slight benefit for GODSENT is they get to save the AWP for Twist. But at this point, they're going to need a hell of a lot more than that if they want to come back here. And it looks like GODSENT are almost certainly going to have to just rely on Overpass and Cache, the last 2 maps of this series. It's not over just yet. We are going to see AVANGAR take things slowly. Twist with that AWP is currently over towards A. Playing in towards CT. So if the smoke were to come in, he could jump up on Ticket Booth and try and get a pick. But we are just going to see GODSENT take quite a slow-paced round to start us off. And for what it's worth, this is something we didn't really see that often from GODSENT. It did seem like GODSENT maybe got a bit frustrated back on their T side. They got so close in so many rounds, but they couldn't quite close them. Oh, Brolan does a lot of damage there. Kick it down low, and Disco gonna get that quick D kill, makes it a second. He's not going to get any more as Jame gets the trade, but he set up Hampus for an easy frag. And Twist also rotates over with a couple of easy kills. The Swedes stay alive for the time being. 15-7 up now at the very least, and AVANGAR are going to be forced into a weakened buy. They will get the one AK-4 Buster. As I was saying earlier, Buster has been their best performer so far in this qualifier. But in this particular map, it's been Jame leading the way with that AWP at 25 frags. So let's see if Buster can re-find his previous form. He's currently out towards B apartments, and he does get that quick pick. Unfortunately for him, Disco Doplan was also in position for the trade. Having said that, that AK should be recovered, and it is GODSENT to pick that one up. So not a terrible start to the round. Twist is going to come over to B with the AWP, and as he goes for this peek, the flash is on point. Nice team play there. It's a very basic play, but it can be so successful when you have the AWP in hand. That's the kind of thing I want to see more from GODSENT. The team play needs to be on point, because you can see they have the players. Twist gets a second kill. It's just not really worked out for them in this game. And to be fair, they did get fairly unfortunate, I guess you could say, to lose so many clutches. Maybe that's something they have to look at, though, because they lost a couple of 1-on-3s. Twist gets another kill. He's just going to take that fight all day, every day. Gets 3 kills from that position out towards B. And GODSENT keep themselves going. Back up to an 8. They're still very far away from realistically coming back on this map. Either way, AVANGAR, with this buy, don't have the best of buys. 3 AKs in play, though, could be good, but Brolan, out towards mid, in a very exposed position, is allowed to get that opening kill and then fall back. If AVANGAR had a couple more players there, they could just swing out wide and make sure the trade came in. Unfortunately for AVANGAR, they were fairly spread out across the map. Ooh, Freddy B there gets caught off guard, but there goes Twist with the AWP for the eventual trade. I did think that his teammates should have been watching ramp for him. However, a 1-for-1 trade isn't terrible for GODSENT at this point, especially as they lost their player with the UMP, which isn't a massive loss for them. AVANGAR now will group up for the push. They do have a couple of smokes left. And that might be important, because Twist is in towards CT with that AWP. You don't really want to be fighting him. Push will come forwards. And AVANGAR are going to gain ground towards the site, but Brolan, in a sneaky position, does only get the 1 kill. But it's an important kill to find, just to slow things down. 2v3 now after the bomb is planted, and Buster, ooh, nearly gets the chance to pick off Twist. He's going to go for the fight and gets the first. Jame, in the meantime, did get the kill, so it's back to a 1v1. Jame on just 4 HP. Going for the reload. The bomb is planted quite open, so Jame can just wait for the defuse, and indeed he will. He spots Twist there. That's so useful. Twist is now sticking the defuse. Jame doesn't have his gun out. Jame needs to go, but he doesn't get it in time. Twist, with balls of steel, sticks the defuse. You gotta have big balls to stick the defuse in that situation when the map is on the line in a 1-on-1. But he takes the risk and it pays off again. And finally, GODSENT are getting a couple of the clutches to go their way. However, it still might be too little too late. Having said that, they have the double AWPs to work with now. Interestingly enough, it's Hampus with that second AWP in hand. Brolan again is playing a similar position out towards mid, where it's quite hard for him to fall back. He does have Freddy B assisting him. And Freddy B will be the first port of call. He takes the first fight, gets a quick headshot. And Freddy B doubles down. A couple of nice entries for him there. And Brolan I was going to say, might go for the peek in towards underpass, but just decides to fall back. Takes the conservative approach, and I think that's the right call at this point. No need to take any risks with the two-man advantage. It's good to see him play so safe, but oh, twist! Completely caught off guard there. The push came out through the smoke. So a 3v4 now as Brolan gets good timing for the turnaround. AVANGAR just going to have to go straight out towards A, but with no utility, I don't really see them winning this round. Freddy B can watch the cross. Brolan is also in position if necessary. 30 seconds left, and GODSENT has a rather high mountain to climb at this point. Bomb will go down at the very least. Still in a 1v4. GODSENT would have to throw this round, I believe, and there we go. They don't throw it away. GODSENT have, at the very least, claimed double digits. Remember, this game isn't over yet, but AVANGAR have just called for a tactical timeout. I think at this point it's probably about the right time to call it. They've lost 4 in a row, and they still have a bye for this round, so they can discuss what they want to pull off here. The one thing that has been a little bit of an issue for AVANGAR is they've continued to go for these force buys with the bomb plants. They haven't quite got the proper full buys to go for themselves. You can see their nades really lacking. They certainly don't have a full arsenal of nades. It's only GODSENT who has a full set to work with. So that makes it quite difficult to go for any set plays. They have to rely on just trying to win some aim fights, which against 2 AWPs is quite difficult to do. Either way, AVANGAR, you can see they've already used almost all their utility on that mid presence. So they're going to have to get something going from that mid push. Otherwise, then they're just not going to really have too much success. But just as I say that, Buster does get that first pick. There we go. Demasic also finds a headshot. This could be it. GODSENT also chimes in. It's just headshots across the map. And I think that pretty much settles it. Disco Dopplan will fall, and AVANGAR eventually close out this first map 16-10. Let's see what the desk thinks about that one.
GODSENT almost managing to come back into this match, but AVANGAR had a huge lead coming into the end and finished the match 16-10 in their favor. And it was their map pick as well, so congrats to AVANGAR for getting that first map. Then you were almost right. You said 16-13, but unfortunately for you, no points. So yeah, guys, I mean, looking at AVANGAR at the start, I mean, really strong start, 9-3 lead at one point, not really giving GODSENT anything on their T side to work with. Basically every single round went in favor of AVANGAR, every crucial round. And in the end, when you go with such a large deficit, like, you start coming back, but it's only one mistake that can cost you the whole game. And they were alive until that 10th round for them, but unfortunately then not so after that. So what happened? What do you think happened on their T side to get stomped so hard from AVANGAR?
Yeah, AVANGAR looked really scary, especially in the first half, but Demasic and Jame managed to close those 2 in a row 1v3 clutch situations, and that might be the most crucial thing that happened for GODSENT. Maybe they got frustrated and didn't want to play as they know how to play. They tried some new things, but in the second half, we've seen AVANGAR getting that mid control, and that really, how should I say, that really made some huge problems for GODSENT. We've seen GODSENT taking no control over mid. They just let him take it, and we've seen players taking control of ladder room, coming from underpass to connector, and so many times the city players in jungle got killed, or the guy on stairs. And I've seen AVANGAR taking that A side mostly. We've seen maybe on B like once or twice. But overall, I mean, it was a just great game for AVANGAR. Jamie went bananas with 27 frags, 28, with AVP taking, and once again, that 1v3 situation, that was quite amazing.
Yeah, Hogar, like looking at AVANGAR on their city side, they were quite dominant at one point. I mean, when it was 9-3 for them, they kind of slipped a couple of rounds in a row there to finish 9-6. But it could have been worse, right? I mean, looking at how they started, it was good for GODSENT to even take those 6 rounds. Unfortunately, even though when they switched sides, GODSENT couldn't really manage to swing a couple of rounds in a row. Why was that?
Actually, in the first half, Buster played such a good half with the James together. I mean, Buster had a four kills in the first round, amazing one shot for the USP on B side. That's maybe only one of 2 rounds they just tried to go on B. James played a default box with AWP, what we don't see such often.
Yeah.
I mean, that position with OP is really hard to play, and GODSENT really, maybe they got surprised with that. And when they swap sides, I mean, as you said, it's really hard to play when you know the one mistake can lead you to the exit of that map, so you will lose. Actually, they would close it some earlier. Dima had one-on-one where James had one-on-one when he wasn't connected, and the plant was for short, and I don't know. He jumped. He saw the guy who was the diffuser, and he didn't shoot him. I don't know why. I think he thought maybe he's faking. So they had a smap. I mean, it's pretty convincing win for the AVANGAR.
Yeah, that will be it for the first map between AVANGAR and GODSENT. Second map is Overpass, and it was picked by GODSENT. So make sure to tune in to see if GODSENT can make this comeback real and go 1-on-1 and get 1-1 and get to that third map. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back, ladies and gents, to Farmskins Championship Season 2, also a qualifier for IEM Katowice. 16 teams already fighting their way through GSL format group stage. One already passed Group A, and that is Team Spirit, and 3 will join them together in playoff with 4 invited teams. Those 4 invited teams are Hellraisers, Fnatic, Gambit, and Big. And of course, we'll see which 3 teams will join them, of course, together with Team Spirit. So far, we are watching GODSENT versus AVANGAR. AVANGAR won first map with the result 16-10 in the end. 10-5 was the half, as my colleagues here told me, so I made a mistake there. But nothing too crucial.
It's okay.
As we all say. Yeah, the second map is Overpass, gentlemen. So Overpass, pretty interesting map. We saw GODSENT a couple of times there. We saw AVANGAR going against GODSENT on Overpass as well. It was in favor of GODSENT. Hogar, can they repeat the success they did in the last matchup?
If Hampus keeps playing like this, I think they cannot repeat. I think he had 6 or 7 frags.
Yeah, something like that.
On the last map, so it's basically we're playing with four players on the server, and it's not possible to win when you have in AVANGAR 3 players who cannot miss the shots: Buster, Jamie, and Kickert, right? So you really need to step up and start shooting. I mean, everybody can caught off guard and without timing on first map of the day. So I think he can bounce back, but they really need to start as a city first now. Yeah.
Do you think, Danny, that maybe AVANGAR now has an edge coming out of W from Mirage? They practically all players played really well on Mirage, and if they continue like strong as they did on Mirage, maybe they can take this 2-0.
Yeah, the last time AVANGAR played against GODSENT was pretty convincing in favor for GODSENT. It was 16-7, but AVANGAR are looking pretty strong right now. They played against Red Reserve, managing to close that one 16-4. And I mean, I remember in their previous matchup when AVANGAR played against GODSENT, James was underwhelming a bit. He used to play AVP, but he just couldn't get any kills.
Yeah, he played pretty bad on the.
Yeah, he played pretty bad. But now what I've seen on Mirage, he had 28 or 7 frags, died almost 10 times. So this time I think he will perform really good. But on the other hand, GODSENT have problems with Hampus right now. He had 6 or 7 kills. In their previous matchup against Alternate Attacks, Disco Doppelin was underwhelming, Hampus once again, and Freddy B. But still, I mean, I lean towards AVANGAR on this one.
You need to be consistent in order to win those games. I mean,
do you think maybe that Overpass is kind of a kryptonite for AVANGAR? Maybe they don't just perform as well on that map because you can't really approach it like they approach Mirage. You can see basically on their T side that they are just waiting for timings to push through smoke. We saw players from Palace trying to get frags, caught twist of guard a couple of times there from A Palace to A side on Mirage, but you can't really play like that solo style on Overpass as well, because you can really get shut down pretty easily with one flash back to you and to clear the corners as well. It's close corners. You can basically check everything now as a city. You can really go aggressive on every part of the map if you want to. And maybe that's why Overpass is not really the best map for AVANGAR currently, looking at the previous result, of course.
Maybe AVANGAR played pretty well versus Alternate Attacks, right, on the Overpass.
Red Reserve, I think. Red Reserve.
Yeah, Red Reserve, but the thing is, some teams really maybe their best map is Overpass, for example, but some other opponents' play style doesn't fit them. So basically, GODSENT really chased them on the last time they played Overpass. So Mirage was pretty close. It's 16-10, 16-11. It's last time was 16-14, right? So I mean, GODSENT has an edge here. But I would say they really need Hampus to wake up and start from the pistol round and first gun round so they can continue.
Yeah, we'll see if Hampus can do that. I mean, looking at maybe the T side, we said that AVANGAR dictated tempo from the beginning, even though they were on city side. they started really strong, like they practically shut down everything. You, Hogar, said that GODSENT needs city side in order to come back to this map. Do you think maybe that's, I don't know, because of Twist? Twist, we talk about him a lot, that he is that kind of aggressive operator that can bring you the games, to be the star player of GODSENT, but we saw that he kind of struggles against some of the players from...
Yeah, he struggled at the first half. He played better at the second half, but the first half he played bad. So I think he needs really to step up now from the beginning with open and try to get some entry frags. And they just don't have to play loose. Don't be afraid from dropping out from the tournament. You cannot win like that.
Yeah, especially just because you said that they are now 1-0 down, and if they lose this map, they're out of the qualifiers. So a lot to play for now in this matchup. I don't know if they played other qualifier for IEM and how far they went, but I'll check that. I don't know if they managed to get to the closed quali. But Danny, AVANGAR is waiting now for them on overpass. Do you think that maybe them winning 9th round can decide if they can win this map now against GODSENT?
The last time they played, I can't really remember. They were terrible on both sides, CT or T. So it doesn't really matter right now. They're coming from a huge win on Mirage. So if every player continues to play like they played on Mirage, I mean, they shouldn't be having any problems. Like, I mean, we've seen Buster. He's possibly the MVP player from AVANGAR when they played against Red Reserve. He had over 60 kills in all 3 maps. So still, AVANGAR may be winning this.
Okay, quick predictions.
16-4 GODSENT.
16-10 AVANGAR.
Okay, 16-7 again for GODSENT. We're ready to go live. Then Dean came back from from vacation, so he's now joining Hoka in this best of 3 between GODSENT and AVANGAR. So boys, take it away.
Alright, thank you guys. It is true, I have indeed returned, and Hoka will still be here. Of course, you will now have a beautiful cast in Geo to take you through the action. It is going to be the second map of AVANGAR versus GODSENT, and I believe AVANGAR took the previous one 16-10, if I'm correct. I did actually miss most of it. I was only there to see the end, so I believe that was the scoreline. But yeah, GODSENT now coming into their own map pick. It should be good. What do you think, Hoka?
Yeah, it was 16-10 back on Mirage. The first half was quite interesting because there were a few really close rounds where it felt like if GODSENT just won one of them, they could have broke the AVANGAR economy. It could have gone very differently, but AVANGAR won quite a few really massive clutches, a couple of huge 1v3s. I don't know if that's the level of performance we can expect for them to keep up, though. They did have to rely on those clutches, so I still think here on Overpass, this is a map that GODSENT are really, it seems like, trying to make their home map. They beat them the last time they played AVANGAR on this map, so I think GODSENT will take the win here, maybe like a 16-10, I'm feeling, but we'll have to wait and see. That start could be important, because if GODSENT get off to a slow start again, they could be in trouble as we head underway.
Oh yeah, certainly, but let's see how it's going to go now in this pistol round, as over on the T side it is going to be James that picks up some utility. He has a smoke and a flashbang, and right now 2 players just making their way immediately towards B for the T side. 3 also holding towards connector, and it seems like GODSENT, after going for some early aggression towards mid, they have decided to just fall back off now. They get the info that currently there's no one up in this position, and they may be able to focus a bit of a heavier stack towards B. As for now, AVANGAR taking this very slow, yet to make any noise at all. They have just been clearing these positions to try and stop any of that aggression, but here we go. One player trying to make his way out once. Their kicker does get spotted. Twist up on the boost, and he gets it there as he gets himself a nice little one-tap, and allows GODSENT now to be with a one-man advantage.
Yeah, nice little start there. Generally, when you have that boost, you won't have 3 players towards B, but that's what GODSENT had in their setup. And now they're going to go back towards A, but Brolan picks off a couple of headshots. Really nicely done from him, and Disco Doplan also finds a free frag. And I said that GODSENT might want to get off to a good start. Well, they get off to the perfect start. Not a single point of damage taken. And I'm sure that will help out their confidence tremendously as they get that first.
Oh yeah, certainly some very nice shots hit there, especially by Brolan. Twist also hit a very nice one over from the boost. But, of course, with no bomb plant coming in, we will see AVANGAR trying to buy into this one. They want to try and bring it back. They will have Deagles and also mostly CZs, actually, rather, as they have 3 of those. And look at this, the CT side going extremely aggressive. Kickard finds this, it could get dangerous, but being forced back off that angle now, GODSENT. Once they get the info that there is players in this position, it looks like they will be willing to just retreat back. But that will put a bit of a thought now in the mind of AVANGAR that they have to be cautious for these players pushed up, and because of that, they likely will take a bit more time actually trying to clear out these positions.
Yeah, you can see GODSENT very heavily investing in towards rifles here, really not wanting to lose this round. I believe it was back on the first map where they did... I can't remember if it was AVANGAR who won the pistol, but one of the teams won the pistol and lost the follow-up, so they don't want to follow that up. But having said that, the CZs do get up close and do get an opening pick. So AVANGAR get a rifle into their hands, and there was no chance for the trade there. Freddy B was set up by himself out towards A long, and the rotation is coming back towards B. Disco Doplan is the only player currently committed to that B site. If he doesn't get any support soon, this could be a very dangerous round now for the Swedes.
Yeah, this is looking pretty good for AVANGAR right now also. D-Mystic, oh, JM, able to take down another player there. Hampus goes for the aggressive push. Broland, luckily enough, will be able to find that trade, but not really going in favor of GODSENT anyway. As over towards the B-bomb site, it will be once again AVANGAR getting that opening kill. And now it only Twist and Broland remaining, one of those being low HP, no kit available also. If they don't get a really fast kill here, I think this is just going to be a save. And as you can see, it seems like Twist has already decided on that as he does begin to back off.
Yeah, Kritzen just straight up ran onto the B site. He never even stopped, and he got that headshot on towards Disco Doplan. And as soon as that came through, the bomb could go down quite easily. There was nothing else really to be done. It just kind of felt like there, GODSENT didn't necessarily have the correct setup to be able to get those trade kills, especially with Freddy B being alone out towards A long. I mean, sure, you would expect him to get multiple kills there, or at least one frag before he goes down. But the last thing you want to do is give away a rifle, even though that wasn't what costed them the round, even though it was just the CZs winning most of the fights. Losing that rifle early on seemed like an issue, and it does seem like some of these GODSENT rounds, they don't quite have the team play fully on point. Maybe that's something they still need to work on with this somewhat new roster. Either way, they do have the 2 rifles saved, so we can't count them out of this round just yet. Heading into round 3, the full force buy comes through. We are going to see some information gained by Twist. He doesn't really spot anything towards mid. The rest of GODSENT just going to go ahead and play passive, wait to see if they can get any opening kills from AVANGAR overextending.
Yeah, but AVANGAR, of course, now when they're up against at least a slightly weaker buy than themselves, they aren't really going to be going too aggressive. We can see they have really passive positions. We do see aggression actually coming in by the CT side right now in towards the water. And this could get dangerous, but Kickard in the corner will find one Krizen in a perfect position to instantly peek out and find that trade frag onto Brolan. Means that now this B-bomb side is just going to be up for the taking. No one really in position other than one towards heaven. And there should be indeed AVANGAR getting themselves control of this B-bomb site. And there we go. With Hampus fallen, and will be basically now the round confirmed in favor of AVANGAR. Once again, no defuse kit available for GODSENT. Only that one rifle, and if they don't find a kill fast, there's basically zero chance of them being able to actually get this one.
Yeah, not quite going their way towards the B site again. I'm going to see them stick around here. Twist is stuck in towards Graffiti, so that rifle may be lost. You see him trying to see if he can find a frag. Does get the 1 kill. Oh, he actually gets a second. In the meantime, though, Freddy B goes down, but Twist gets another kill. If he had a kit, there would have been the chance for the round. But without that in play, there's just not enough time for him really to work with. So he's going to go ahead and save the AK. Again, not an awful round for GODSENT. They will at least keep the AVANGAR economy somewhat low. So that does give them the chance to try and break that early on in these early gun rounds. And Twist also gets an AK to work with. In fact, Twist has still yet to die, despite them losing 2 rounds. Let's see if he can hold on to that AK one more time in this 4th round.
Yeah, that was really nice damage by Twist, and coming into this one now to have that AK to work with while the rest of his teammates only have the pistols is going to at least give them some form of a chance to maybe even just get some damage done, if not take the round. But then again, we know what damage can be done with one saved weapon, so let's see what Twist will be able to find. As right now, AVANGAR taking this one fairly safe. They will be just making their way up towards A with most of their players anyway, clearing out these positions in towards toilets. And they should actually reach the bomb site without actually having to contest any players, as right now it's a stack on A long. We see Freddy B, and I believe that's also Hampus that was set up in that position. As right now, there we go. The T is full control of the bomb site. There is players coming up already through the stairs, but will be found by James. Kickard gets himself one on long, and there we go. All the kills going to be going in favor of AVANGAR. Only Twist remains with that AK, so he didn't really even get a chance to get anything done.
And again, it's that man Twist left alive. The only man left for GODSENT. Will he get to not die for yet another round? That is the question on our minds. He's going to look to hold on to that AK one more time. And he may be able to do so. AVANGAR do have a couple of MAC-10s, so Jame and Cridson can absolutely hunt down without any real risk. Twist again does a bit more damage, finding that frag. There we go. They eventually find Twist, his first death of the map. He doesn't save the AK. That's not a massive issue because he's going to buy up the AWP. The rest of the team also following up with the rifles. And I just want to quickly point out, it's good to see Twist go back to that AWP because we did see him back on Mirage at 1 or 2 moments give the AWP over to Disco Doplan. And I think having the confidence to call for that AWP, to play around that AWP is quite important. So Twist getting that one back is good to see, and he's going to take the aggressive peek, but now he could be in trouble with AVANGAR going straight through the smoke. Luckily for Twist, he's got back to safety, and Twist goes back aggressive through the smoke. That is the confidence you like to see from your AWPer as the opening pick goes the way of GODSENT.
Yeah, really nice job there by Twist to re-aggress there, find that opening kill, and then fall back. He even has the smoke down to allow for him to retreat without being found. And here we go, Twist gets himself another, and eventually be found. And actually, I was going to say Freddy B on the flank may be able to get something done, but it's Demasick to find that, so bomb should be getting planted. We see Disco Doplan in a position to maybe try and actually stop the bomb plant, but it's not really going to work out. He takes down Jame at least, but he does get traded. That's a successful job taking more damage on towards Kickert also. So now in a 2-on-2 retake, it is winnable for GODSENT. They don't currently have a defuse kit in their possession. I don't know if there is one down on the site for them to pick up, but there we go. Smoke goes down. We'll actually be in towards toilets, so I don't think that's really going to block anyone off, and this is going to get very difficult now for GODSENT. He's going to move on very little time. Kickert finds himself 1 and a second with the Glock as Hampus is taken out, and AVANGAR are able to reset the, well, not reset the economy, rather just get themselves another round, and once again force GODSENT back onto an eco.
Yeah, AVANGAR just about win that round. Both players surviving on very little health. I think it was 11 and 4 HP between them. So very, very close round. The Glock having to come out as you saw at the end. But again, AVANGAR win another tight round. And this is somewhat reminiscent of Mirage at this point, where AVANGAR came out to a big early lead thanks to winning some quite close rounds. And they just continued to keep GODSENT's economy low. We did see GODSENT a couple of times play it close with the pistols. Disco Doplan, in particular, had a few nice Deagle rounds. But this time, he's only got the 5.7 in hand. And GODSENT would have to have a couple of players step up, you would think, to have a chance here. Twist is out towards A-Long with the Deag, trying to play in towards Tree. It's quite a dangerous position to play. He does move forwards. Does land the one shot, but he's not going to get anything else. So he gets picked off quite easily. And AVANGAR with a minute left on the clock. They've taken this round quite slowly. It looks like they are starting to make some decisive maneuvers now as the team slowly but surely walks their way back over towards B.
Yeah, we do see at least some form of a play coming in by GODSENT. They try to aggress towards B. I would have perhaps just liked to have seen a stack towards one of the bomb sites to give them a chance to actually take the round. But Hampus, he finds Buster as he pushes up on A. He does take down the Soul Lurker, but over towards B is where the actual hit is going to be coming in. Roland and Disco Doplan, they're in decent positions, but let's see if they're going to be able to get anything done, and it doesn't seem likely. Demasick is going to be able to take down Boat. Jame also going to be able to eliminate Freddy B from the server, and now it's all on to Hampus. Has at least retrieved that AK that he looks to try and save, but AVANGAR, after winning 4 rounds in a row, their economy, it's not looking too bad. They could maybe send one or two of these players rather out to try and hunt this, and you can see that is exactly what is happening. Kickart, he's pushing up in the position. Should be finding his opponent quite soon, unless he goes down towards Connector, which is looking actually quite possible. As Hampus now will be pushing forward still, so I presume he will be found now in a moment. The question is, can he actually get this kill? If he does, I don't think anyone's close enough to get the trade, so he should be allowed to save. And Kickart actually going all the way around, may not be able to find them in time. Let's see.
Yeah, Kickart should go for the push. He is slowly but surely coming forwards. Hampus isn't going to turn around here. Is Kickart going to peek? Yes, he does. Gets the headshot in the back, executes Hampus from behind. However, GODSENT certainly still have the cash to buy. This time around, though, Twist could have got the AWP, but he decides against it. Even though he got that opening pick last time around, I know he only got the 1 frag, but that first shot was quite important. That could have been the key to winning that round. Either way, the 5 rifles certainly still an option, and that's the option they've taken as we head into this 7th round. GODSENT really need to put some rounds on the board sooner rather than later. we're already going to see Kicker go quite aggressive in towards B short, but more importantly, Freddy B is pushed all the way up in towards Playground. This could be a very interesting round now because Freddy B may be behind the opposition. I don't think AVANGAR are aware of that, but Buster's just pushed up. In the meantime, Brolan takes a fight out towards B. Quite an awkward start to the round, and Freddy B now seems to be making some ground out towards Playground. He could be the pivotal player depending on how this round plays out.
Yeah, Twist though, he's going to get caught off guard. Will be taken down as he pushes back at least, so it doesn't give any more time for Buster to work with. And there we go, Demastic finding the aggressive push. So Freddy B falls. It is going to be back in favor of the Kazakhstan side now, as they've also been able to take control of the A bomb site. We saw Buster just walk straight up onto it, and GODSENT, they're beginning to rotate at least, but I don't know if they're going to make it in time. We do see one player coming in from the bank, and it looks like they may even try and push before the actual bomb plant goes down. Looking like they were at least tempted to do so. Hampus throws in a Molotov. It's going to be spotted out, and the wallbang comes in by Buster. So now it's all onto Brolan and Disco. Doplan, Jame posted up on this angle, will be able to find the kill onto Disco. And it's all going to be on the Brolan now. The new young player that has been added to the roster in a 1-on-4, and it doesn't look like he fancies his chances, as he is just going to begin to back off already, looking to try and save once again, and the 6th round is going to be conceded by GODSENT.
It's looking quite good at the start for GODSENT as well. Brolan's going to be heard, and final kill comes out. And again, GODSENT struggling with the slow starts. That's why it was looking so good for them once they won the pistol round, because that had been an issue for them. Back on Mirage, they couldn't really get too many rounds early on. So I thought winning that pistol was going to be very important for them. But again, they lose to a force buy, and again, it costs them dearly. 6-1 down on their own map pick. This is a very different GODSENT. It seems like as well, they start to lose some confidence almost. You saw there, Freddy B, he went for the aggressive play, but not quite working out for him. It's good to see GODSENT still deciding to make some plays, but it just seems like maybe in terms of winning the aim fights, they're not quite as confident. And wow, you can see again, just back down to pistols. This is starting to get a little bit out of hand. This will be a very nice round for GODSENT to win, but it doesn't look likely with just the pistols in play.
Yeah, not very. I think the main problem in the last round was GODSENT had decided to go aggressive to counter the very passive style of AVANGAR, just as AVANGAR decided to speed it up. So they ended up just kind of getting caught off guard, couldn't cancel the aggression, and after getting the first kill, even the trades didn't go in their favor. But into this one, we saw GODSENT once again looking to try and go aggressive. They spotted out a few players towards middle. They will be allowed to live with only a very minimal amount of damage being received onto Disco Doplan. Over towards Connector now is where they try to fight, rather. Twist does pick up that trade successfully, doesn't lose any HP either, so been able to retrieve an AK now. Having a rifle to work with and also control a Connector kind of limits what the Ts can do. And allows Twist to have a pretty fast flank towards either bomb site. As it looks like the CTs, they are going to continue to aggress, or at least peek to see if they can find more kills. Demastic is going to back off, and it looks like the A-bomb site is going to be the target right now for AVANGAR. So that means right now, or at least currently, it's all up to Disco Doplan. Let's see if they decide to rotate a player back over in his direction to actually try and give him some support. It will be Twist eventually to move back over. So now the rifle, it is going to be in play towards the A-bomb site.
And it looks as though Disco Doplan's going aggressive. The timing could be right here. Oh, he just misses that shot. I don't think Disco Doplan was quite fully expecting there to be players towards A long, so you saw he wasn't really ready to react. And that means that the shot was missed. So now Twist has it all to do. He does have the AK. He's been the one shining light on the GODSENT side so far. 24 seconds in comes the push. Twist gets one. You can see Twist came close to the spray transfer, but Jame gets a very quick trade with the AWP. So now as the bomb goes down, not only is it a 3v2, but GODSENT also only have pistols to work with. It looks as though Hampus is going to have to push through the connector smoke. That's not going to work. There we go, the final kills come in. So AVANGAR claim the 7-1 lead. Again, GODSENT get a couple of kills. But that's just not enough. They need rounds right now. This is the round they need to do it as well. And again, it's Disco Doplan with the AWP.
Twist has always been the type of player who, when he's confident, he can be one of the best uppers in Sweden, if not the best in terms of his style. It's just so aggressive when he has the confidence. But most uppers, maybe when they're not confident, won't hit their shots. What Twist does is, on most lineups I've seen him play on anyway, he just hands the up away to a different player who's also capable. So it's a strange choice, but sometimes it works out. This time though, Twist looking to go aggressive with the M4 doesn't work out in his favor. We saw both Buster and Kickard posted up on that position, and he's going to get taken down. So GODSENT down by one man early on into this round. Not the start you would have wanted to have seen into this one. They finally get the rifles back out, and so far no success to be found.
And again, that almost looks like a frustration play to me from Twist there. He goes for the peak by himself. We saw GODSENT a couple of times. It seemed like on that previous map, they started to get a little bit desperate. They tried to go for these sort of individual plays, whereas, yeah, okay, you can go for that sort of a push, but you need some support, really, if you're going to go for a play like that. Because even if you get a kill, you're going to be in trouble. And you see, again, Brolan's just walking through a smoke. This is really worrying for GODSENT, honestly. I think they're just putting too much pressure on themselves to make the plays. You can see they're just trying to force things. Hampus now also goes through a smoke. What is going on here? They're just trying to make plays. I mean, to be fair, once you're in a 3v5, you kind of have to make something happen. But they're not really using utility. They're not using team play. It's easy for AVANGAR at this point.
I think the strangest thing about that round was that Twist sacrificed the op, because he then went for a play that would have been very good if he had the op in his hands. That aggressive peek over the smoke, a lot of oppers go for it, it works out a lot of the time, but he went for it with a rifle for some reason, and this GODOPLAN not even going to be able to save. Dimasic was already waiting outside Monster, so that will be AVANGAR taking that round as expected after we saw the first 2 or 3 kills go in their favour. And GODSENT once again, their economy not looking amazing. Looks like they may decide to force into this one. Twist is already fully invested, and because of that, the rest of his teammates will eventually join him. Pistols mostly, a couple of rifles, or rather 3 FAMAS, 1 CZ and an M4, so it's not a terrible buy, but they haven't been having the success even when they had that full buyout, all the rifles, the ops, the utility. So let's see what they're going to be able to do once that's limited. As Twist, once again, an aggressive push. This time it's a bit different, and it goes with a nice pop flash. He's able to take down Kickert, will be traded out by James. As we're back into a 4-on-4, but the CTs, they aren't stopping James though. He's putting them in their tracks, or rather stopping them in their tracks, putting them in their place as he shuts down this GODOPLAN with an amazing flick. And now a 4-on-3 as once again GODSENT, the aggressive push does not work out in their favour.
Buster is on the A site right now as well. He could be very, very important. Looks like they're just going to get the bomb down, but Brolan is still out towards A long, so this could be interesting. If Brolan gets the timing right, there could be a chance for a kill or two. And here we go, Brolan in for the backstab. Eventually gets the kill. So we go to a 3v3, but AVANGAR can get in towards bathrooms and get into quite strong post-plant positions. See Brolan making his way forwards. No defuse kit yet to speak of on the GODSENT lineup. The smoke, however, will go towards the bomb. So that's something to think about for AVANGAR. As Brolan gets on the bomb, he also gets taken down. And Hampus with just the CZ, very low, does get the quick kill. But in comes the flank. AVANGAR extend their lead again. And GODSENT not quite getting it done. Again, I like the idea for the aggressive play, but nothing's working for GODSENT right now.
No, what can you do when James is hitting flicks like that? I believe he was pointed out on the analyst desk as well as being a player who in the past had struggled against GODSENT with the op perhaps, but in this game he seems to be stepping it up. I heard he did in the first one also. When I did join in, I saw him get quite a few nice kills. There was a clutch or so that didn't go in his favour, but it was still a nice game by him, and he looks to be continuing that on. As right now GODSENT once again, after going for the force buy, they don't have the economy to buy into this one, so will be once again relegated only onto the pistols and the Kevlar, as it is going to be AVANGAR claiming the man advantage. Once again, Krizen able to take down Freddy B, as now a 5-on-4 in favour of the Kazakhstan side, and this seems to be where it spirals out of control every round for GODSENT. Once they lose that opening advantage, they feel like they have to go aggressive. Sometimes you do, but they should really push together. This time they will actually. Hampus pushes forward, has some support, takes down Kickert, and Twist also in position now to ensure that the trades can't come in for AVANGAR. So back into a 4-on-4. Finally some success being found by GODSENT. Nice shot by Twist. Takes down Krizen, and he seems to be aware that Dimasic can be out Monster. He gets it through the wall. All onto just Buster and James now to try and clutch this one out and save the round for AVANGAR.
There we go. Twist making it happen. That second Eagle kill was very nice to see. Having said that, Buster, with the bomb, is all the way in towards this position. Brolan, in the meantime, though, spots out James. So even if the bomb gets up towards A, James isn't really going to be able to assist his teammate. And it seems as though GODSENT is somewhat aware the bomb could be coming back. 25 seconds left. Buster is going to take the A site. That fight makes a big difference, but James is making noise. He still gets the headshots. Both AVANGAR players are low, but with the bomb going down, they've got it back to a very winnable position. A couple of Molotovs also to play with. One goes straight out towards the bomb. Hampus has a smoke. There it goes towards the bomb, and the defuse is coming in, but James gets yet another frag. It's all up to Brolan. The D gonna push aggressively, gets the first. Does he know where Buster is, though? He's clearing the corners. Buster up close is going to get taken down. Finally, a round win for GODSENT. There is, I believe, enough time for the defuse. And maybe that's the start they needed. Finally, something working for them. Closer than I thought. There we go. Whew. I thought that was going to be quite easy, but Brolan just about gets the time right.
Yeah, nice clutch there by Brolan. Gives them at least some form of a lifeline now, but to actually be happy with this half, they're going to have to try and win out the remainder of the rounds. As we can see also, AVANGAR, plenty of economy to go around. They'll be rolling in money currently and back in the T-spawn, so they will have to win quite a few gun rounds in a row now, GODSENT, if they want to actually be able to actually make this a respectable half. As once again, aggressive push is going to be coming in by the CT side. This time, immediately through the smoke on mid. Freddy B, he will be the man to lead this charge. He will get the first kill, is trying to stop himself from being traded, and he does so by taking down Buster. And AVANGAR won't really be in position right now as they look to try and get forward, get into positions now to find the trades themselves. But after GODSENT were able to get them 2 opening kills, they seem happy enough with just falling back off and making sure that they are able to maintain it.
Yeah, I'm quite happy that round that GODSENT seemed to have an overall call to start the round. We've seen a lot of individual plays from them, but that time they had Disco Dotland solo on the B site with the AWP that allowed them to have 4 on towards A and make the play. So that's what we need to see more of from GODSENT as, oh, that nade lands straight in Kritsan's face. He's not going to be too happy with that one. You can see the anger might be built up because I thought he was going to go through the smoke. He decides against it though, and in the meantime, it's Hampus with that AWP who's going to get that frag. Again, 2 AWPs on the GODSENT side, neither in the hands of Twist. So as you were saying, that confidence clearly is some sort of an issue here. Either way, it's working in this round because Hampus got a kill there. It's just going to be Jame left. Twist should catch him out. Ooh, a little bit awkward. Both players stop. The smoke comes up. Jame not quite taking the fight yet, but Twist is now holding his ground. Getting the damage done. There we go. The final frag comes out. I believe James threw away his AWP, so it couldn't be saved. But that's not a massive factor because they already have 2. So there we go. GODSENT get another round together. But just look at the cash on AVANGAR. They are, well, rolling in the money for the time being.
It's actually a bit strange Twist isn't confident right now because he is 14-8, and like the 1 or 2 rounds we saw him with the op, he hit some amazing shots and he found those openings, just fell apart afterwards. His teammates perhaps weren't able to fall back off their aggressive stances. But yeah, going into this one, GODSENT now at least getting themselves up towards 3 rounds, but they want to try and get more. AVANGAR still have quite a bit of economy left over. They will have a full buy into this one, everything they could want again. As over towards middle now, the map control will be found for AVANGAR. We did see 2 players, I believe, aggressive for GODSENT, but they did just fall back off once the flashes began to rain in over the mid-hedge, as it is now going to be a 5-on-5 still. 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining and no damage to be done as Freddy B spots out 1 player. Will be able to connect a small amount of damage onto Krisen, but nothing really substantial, as he does just fall back off now to make sure that him and Hampus can actually try and work together to hold this site, as it looks like an execute currently is going to be prepared by AVANGAR.
Yeah, a minute left on the clock. So AVANGAR don't have to go for the push here towards A, but it looks like they are interested in doing so. Let's see, Freddy B playing up close is going to need some support, and Hampus is the man to help him out. He's going to go for the peek. There's a player up close, but Buster can't get that kill. That was an important frag to get, and Freddy B isn't checked. 2 easy kills. A little bit of an oversight there from AVANGAR costs them dearly. Roland going to get another headshot. These AKs wreaking havoc on the CT side. Demasic, well, he's going to get the 1 kill, but he's going to need a hell of a lot more. And he's going to be legged down low. Disco Dotland goes for the fight, wins the final frag, and GODSENT win yet another round. So again, very reminiscent of Mirage, to be honest. A slow start for GODSENT, but when they finally get going, they do seem to be finding a few rounds. However, back on Mirage, it was just too little, too late. Let's see if that is the case here on Overpass, because if they get 6 rounds, they should be in at least decent shape.
Yeah, from what I've seen also, GODSENT seem to be actually a decent T-sided team. That seems to, at least when I've watched, that seems to be where they do get most of their rounds. So I guess we'll be seeing once they do go over towards the T-side. It is their own map pick, so I would presume they would have at least something prepared. But AVANGAR now already up to 9, still 2 more rounds to go. They have a chance to try and increase that even further. They're going to be very happy with this half. So GODSENT now, let's see what they'll be doing after this pause is removed, as it is going to be now called off. And AVANGAR, they are ready to go, ready to get back into the action. But just before we do so, I do want to go ahead and just tell everyone to check out farmskins.com. They are, of course, the the company that is able to make this tournament happen, they are the ones that are bringing you this action. So go ahead and check out farmskins.com. They claim they have better drops than Gaben. So go ahead and check that out for yourself, as right now it is going to be a bit of a faster round by AVANGAR. Immediately pushing forward towards mid, also in towards Connector, and GODSENT looking to try and aggress themselves. Hampus, he opens it up at the off once again, as he is going to be able to take down Dimasic. And AVANGAR now with a player down. Twist, nice find there as he gets flashed in and takes down Kickard. So this is working out really good for GODSENT early on, but they need to be careful. We've seen this happen in the past. We've seen it go back in favour of AVANGAR, as there is still 3 players alive, of course, including James with that off as Prison finds Twist in towards Connector. So now only a 1-man advantage for the GODSENT side.
Yeah, James is going to try and work a pick again with the AWP. When you're down a man or two, it's worth taking a risk. And it's going to pay off for James. He catches Hampus rotating. Hampus seemed not aware whatsoever that that was an option. So as soon as he jumps into the open, he gets picked off. And AVANGAR decide that is enough to pull the trigger on the B push. James, though, with the AWP run straight through the smoke. And doesn't have any follow-up from his team. So that allows GODSENT to clean up quite nicely on towards the B site. As soon as James goes down, that allows the big rotate to come over, and the rest of GODSENT also come in with some kills. It didn't feel like AVANGAR needed to necessarily go for the push there, though, so maybe some slightly wrong calls being called from AVANGAR, but they already have 9 rounds, so clearly they've been doing all right up until this point. And here we go, last round of the half. The deep incendiary again goes out towards mid, but no follow-up push from GODSENT. They're just going to play passive to start the round. Having said that, Roland gets a nice entry with the nade.
Yeah, the 1-2 punch there. Just spray it out through the nade, and then it took him down. So really nice find by Brawlan early on to allow GODSENT to claim that 1-man advantage. Looking likely that they may actually be able to get themselves up to that 6th round, and that'd be bringing themselves back quite a lot, making it at least a more respectable half than it was looking early on. But right now, AVANGAR, most of their presence has been put over towards middle, and the only player to really try and hold A is DiscoDoplan. He's playing pretty passive back towards A long. So a lot of room right now for the Kazakhstan side to work with. They are just going to be approaching up through the bathrooms as Prison over on B, spamming away, is able to get some damage connected. But look at this twist, he gets boosted, finds that kill onto Prison. Could have been dangerous, that is wood after all, you can get spammed back through it. But Twist finds it and allows now his team to be in a really solid position. As the final 3 players for AVANGAR now are going to be grouped up over towards A, and DiscoDoplan with the op. I believe he may have actually spotted one out towards short. Dimasic, he looks to try and lead the way. Being straight onto the crosshair, the op, but the timing doesn't work in favour of Disco, and Dimasic finds one onto Twist. Disco does return it though, so once again, GODSENT in a good position. As now it looks like Disco will just fall off, maybe allow for the bomb plant to come down and look to play together, but a pop flash goes in. Maybe because of that, we'll find one more, and now it's all onto James. 1 on 4, he gets himself the first kill at least, but let's see if he's going to be able to clutch this out. The bomb plant goes down, but that will be it. Freddy B finds that final kill, and GODSENT, they are able to recover this half up to 6.
Yeah, good. GODSENT really looking like a different team towards the end of this half, to be honest. I've seen as well, a lot of pros seem to be talking about how important the mental game in CSGO is, and I think you can see here clearly what a little bit of confidence can do for a team. GODSENT finally sort of making some better sort of proactive plays, I guess you could say, in terms of the boost coming in out towards B there. That's something that seems quite simple, but it's really nice to get going just to get that quick pick. It can make a big difference in the round, and it does make a big difference at the end of the half. So 6 rounds for GODSENT. Let's see if they can carry over this confidence into the second half, because this pistol round is still going to be fairly important for them. And also, if they win the pistol round, not losing to the Force Spy like they did back on Mirage and on this very map.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a bit awkward though, because you look at that and you just think how much better it could have been for GODSENT, because we actually saw those 9 rounds that AVANGAR picked up all being in a row. So after being able to break the economy of GODSENT, losing the pistol, then returning it with the Deagles, we just saw GODSENT not being able to stabilize and be able to get themselves any rounds until towards the end, where they picked up 5 in a row. So we could have been just looking at such a different scoreline if GODSENT had been able to actually successfully take that anti-eco.
Yeah, and just quickly as well, I think talking about that mental game, I don't think that giving the AWP over to Hampus and DiscoDoplan is necessarily the best decision, but maybe just switching something up gives you the thought that, hey, this is fresh, this is something new, this is going to work. And as soon as it starts working, obviously you're just going to stick with it. And it seems like that's what worked for GODSENT. So even if it's not necessarily the in theory, best decision. Even if Twist was making plays with the AWP, sometimes just switching something up can actually make a big difference in terms of the mentality, and that seemed to work for GODSENT here. 6 rounds, not too bad, certainly playable for this second half.
Yeah, but I would much rather see Twist just stick out those times where he's maybe not feeling as confident with the op, because that's how you build your confidence. You just withstand them, realize that you're just having a bad game, maybe step it back up in the following one. But if you kind of just have the option every time you're maybe not thinking you're feeling it, to just hand it away to someone else, I don't think that's really the best thing, because I presume all the strats are going to be built around with Twist having the op, so that would probably really limit them what they can actually do from what they've prepared. So they'd be kind of poking out a bit more, I guess.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like almost every AWPer has to have that sort of ridiculous level of confidence where you just feel like you're going to win every fight. And it seems like most of the best AWPers, oftentimes they're kind of even reined in by their in-game leaders, and they're told not to take so many fights all the time, because you can't be taking fights all the time. Sometimes you need to know when to hold back, but just having that confidence is really quite important, especially with the AWP, because there is always going to be in the back of your mind the fact that it's a very expensive gun. There's quite a lot of weight on your shoulders, and that can get to players sometimes if they think about it too much. Whereas sometimes you just need to have that confidence in yourself. I mean, we saw Twist getting the entries. Again, that's the weirdest thing. He was landing the shots. It just seemed like because they were losing the rounds, he didn't have the confidence that it was working maybe in the overall setup. So yeah, always weird to see. It's a shame that Twist couldn't keep it on with the AWP, but he did okay with the rifle. And, well, we'll get to see if they win the pistol round. They would have the money for the AWP on the T side. So, yeah, it's still yet to be seen how GODSENT are going to play it. There's a little bit of a pause here, a little bit of time to talk things over. And we'll get to see what they come out with for this pistol round, which I'm sure right now will be their main focus rather than the sort of AWPing questions.
Oh yeah, certainly. If they pick up this pistol round, they're actually in a really good position. They will go ahead and just equalize the scoreline, and then, well, or likely do so if they're able to actually withstand the pistols this time. But yeah, they've been successful at picking up the pistols from what I've seen. You mentioned that they picked up one on the previous map at least, and they also picked up the first on this one. So let's see if they're going to be able to continue to do so. It is going to be Freddy B picking up some utility, a smoke and a flash. And over on the CT side, James is the kit man. He picks that up along with a smoke. And look at this aggressive push early on by the CT side. And they're going to run right into 5 terrorists, but they also have support from Connector. It's going to be all the kills going in favor of AVANGAR. D-Mystic finds himself 1 and a second, as it is going to be a complete shutdown. GODSENT, I said they were having luck, but not this time, as AVANGAR hit all the headshots, and it is going to be a 10-6 scoreline now in favor of AVANGAR, in favor of the Kazakhstan side, and GODSENT not being able to get the bomb plant. They will be invested into this one.
Did anyone tell the players that there are other areas of the map? Because literally everyone was in towards B short there. That was a straight-up brawl, but it's AVANGAR who come out on top. And that was a fairly convincing round win. If we're talking about confidence, that will not be a confidence-building round for GODSENT. But they have the Deagles this time around, so still every chance for them. As I was saying earlier, Disco Dopline back on Mirage, you might remember, had a couple of really crucial entries towards A with the Deag. Not necessarily to win the rounds, but just to keep the damage up. At this point, the round win would be fairly vital. Freddy B with this Deag. Nearly gets the timing right for a peek, but not going to find it. Remember as well, AVANGAR here, they've got a couple of rifles, but even with the umps, they've fully invested. So a round win here would push AVANGAR back tremendously. But it's still going to be a very difficult round win for GODSENT as they group up around B.
Yeah, this is probably actually the best choice. Only 2 players in position to try and hold this bomb site. But Crizzen, he wins out the first fight. We will see also 1 player in position to try and support him. But Brolan will be able to overwhelm him from short. But it doesn't matter. Crizzen, nice double spray down comes in. And Kicker drops 1 more. So now it's all going to be on the Hampus. Very little HP to actually try and get this done. Only 3 points rather. And he will be just taken down by D-Mystic. So AVANGAR, they're able to withstand it. They keep both of those rifles alive. They did use a lot of utility though. So all that investment basically used, and after buying up into this one, they won't have a lot of money left over. But that shouldn't really be too big of a deal, as GODSENT on this one, they are only going to have the default pistols mostly, 1 P250 upgraded for Twist, which is interesting. Your upper going for those full investments.
Yeah, he's actually got the least money on the team right now, so might just not see an AWP in that first gun round. Kicker going to get the first. Ooh, couple of kills for Kicker. D-Mystic also follows suit. 16 seconds is all AVANGAR need to shut out the pistols. But they're probably going to need a lot longer to win this round, if they even win this round, because they are going to be now against the AKs. As expected, Twist can't get the AWP. I don't think anyone quite had the money to buy one up. So just the AKs, which I think is fine on the T side of Overpass. You can go for an AWP, but it's not a necessity. And especially if they want to get the more utility in their hands, it's better to just go for the AKs. So that's what they decide to go for. And with this being such a crucial round, GODSENT not wanting to make any mistakes, take things slow to start us off.
Yeah, and we can see AVANGAR, look how aggressive they're going. Because they're keeping those SMGs in, they decide to go for an aggressive push through Monster and through the smaller tunnel also, but it's not really going to work out. Disco.plan, he was set up in a very passive position, able to take that first headshot, and he's happy enough with just falling back now. But there we go, Twist, he takes down Demasik, so looking really good now for GODSENT. Let's see if AVANGAR are going to have any success trying to bring this one back. But Buster, just as he had a chance maybe to spot out a player, he does begin to fall back, and his backside will be found as he's taken down by Disco.plan. So GODSENT 5-on-2. First gun round looking to be going in their favour. So this is something that they definitely needed to pick up to keep themselves in this map, keep themselves in this game, and it's looking like they should be able to pick it up indeed. As it's only Kickart and Crizzen that remain. I like that they took a gamble and stacked both players towards the A-bomb site. And luckily it wasn't really the correct decision, but that gives them the option now to at least save these weapons.
Yeah, that's pretty much all they can hope for at this point. AVANGAR, though, do have pretty good money in the bank. It's only really Buster who couldn't afford a buy. So one rifle saved would be enough to get a full buy together. And to be honest, they might not even require these rifles to get a good enough buy. But nonetheless, GODSENT is still going to try and hold on to it as he gets that one kill. Freddy B is also coming into position. He might just get this headshot. Despite taking the dink, he finds that frag. And Kicker is also out towards A-Long. I'm not sure they know he's here, but Brolan is going to go for the fight. This could be a huge kill, and he does find it. Important headshot there, because now this fight is slightly weakened from AVANGAR. We'll get to see exactly what it looks like. It'll be interesting to see what Buster gets. Yeah, he's only got an ump, so a slightly weakened buy, but Jame has that AWP. He has been on point in this series with that weapon. GODSENT might have to be a little bit worried that that one has come out now, as Jame will position towards A, and again, a slow start to the round by the looks.
Yeah, but we do see an aggressive push by Demasik, also pushing straight into mid, playing in a similar position from what we've seen of GODSENT in the previous half. They like pushing up towards that fountain, so let's see if he's going to be able to get anything done. Nice pop flash comes in, won't blind them, but it doesn't matter. Hampus, he is able to connect the headshot there, put that man advantage in favour of the GODSENT side. There's now AVANGAR on the back foot. Let's see what they do to try and bring this back in their favour. Jame, of course, still in position towards A, posted up towards middle. Hoping to be able to maybe find a kill or two in this position, but let's see if it's going to be allowed. Let's see how GODSENT use their utility to flush him back, and that's a nice place Molotov. It is indeed going to stop him from being able to hold that angle. Smoke goes down at least and allows him to maybe try and retreat if he wants to do so, but it seems like for the moment he is happy enough with just sticking around. GODSENT though with the man advantage. They are staying in positions where they can maybe just trade out all these kills, and it looks like they may try and reapproach towards the B bomb site, as this is currently where the bomb is going to be located. Buster does get another smoke there coming in by his teammate, so he will be able to be in a safe position for the moment. And time running down now. This could get dangerous for GODSENT if they wait too long. We could see the bomb being dropped, and that's always a really dangerous position with very little time on the clock. As here we go, GODSENT preparing to make their way in. Finally, the execute it is going to be thrown out. Buster in a good position. Let's see if the timing's going to work out correctly. Nice pop flash comes in, but he won't be able to find the kills. Kickart does though. He gets one before falling to Brolan, and Buster's getting it done, as is Crizzen. And now it's all onto Twist in a 2 versus 1. He is going to be approaching from short. He will have only 14 seconds to work with as he spots out the player in connector. And now it's all onto Crizzen in the pit, and he will be found by Twist, who gets the 1-on-2. GODSENT, it was looking shaky for a moment, but they pull it back thanks to Twist.
Ooh, this is a little scary for AVANGAR now. GODSENT are really starting to get rolling, and I remember previously on Overpass, they did have a really impressive T side against AVANGAR. And again, gotta give credit to Twist. He still has been the shining light for the team, up there at 20 kills, top fragging the server. And whether it's AWP, whether it's AK, he is doing the damage right now. And remember, that was AVANGAR having 4 players left, 3 of them positioned towards B, and yet they still couldn't quite win the rounds. Buster, oh, he nearly gets that kill, but the CZ just not quite connecting enough. Hampa's going to take him down, and if you take a quick glance at the map, I think you'll be able to see this is almost certainly a round win for GODSENT. The B site completely open.
Yeah, I'd say AVANGAR now maybe just look to try and retrieve themselves a weapon if possible, something to save in, because in the next round their economy they will be getting $2,400, but with the average currently on the players being just about 2,000, slightly below that, they will be struggling to get a pretty decent buy into the following round. They won't have enough for sure. They'll have a very scarce amount of utility, I guess is the best way to put it. So let's see what they're going to be able to get done. They're grouped up in Connector, Disco, looking to try and hunt this seems, which is a little bit dangerous. There's not really much to be found, and risk is really high that he could drop an AK over to one of these, but he spots out one player, will get taken down by Demasik. So one AK has indeed been retrieved by Kickert. As GODSENT, I don't really think they should continue facing this. Maybe just allow now for the AK to be saved, ensure that they themselves can carry on with this 4 and start building up some economy.
Yeah, a little bit frustrating to see Disco.1 just gift an AK over to Kickert, but there you go. AVANGAR get a little bit more to play with, and I'm sure they won't be complaining, because it makes this buy a little bit better. Having said that, Jame won't get the AWP, not quite the full sets of nades on a few of the players, and also Kritson is forced down to an ump, so there's certainly a few question marks about AVANGAR's buy. But at the same time, with there being 4 rifles, there's always a chance. AVANGAR in these recent rounds, though, in these gun rounds, we've seen them go for quite a few aggressive plays, oftentimes these solo plays that I would like to see them cut out at this point. They haven't really worked for them, and you can see now in this round, it's good to see them not quite go for any massive aggression to start things off, because GODSENT had just been playing very passively. They'd just been waiting for that aggression to come in, and then using that to get the man advantage. You can see Buster was thinking of the aggression, just about falls back in time. And GODSENT this time around, they've not really held that default setup. With over a minute left on the clock, they're already grouping around B. This could be a faster push.
Yeah, it looks like it certainly will, as they do look to just immediately commit. Oh, Monster and Brolan. He finds that kill onto Krizin. Disco Doplan able to hit a crisp headshot on towards Buster. Kicker doing his best to bring it back, but it won't be enough. As Brolan finds himself another, and Jame desperately trying to find this kill, but I don't think he'll be able to do so. Right now it is going to be the CT just locked off at his B bomb site. No defuse kit, and once again it is just going to be a save. AVANGAR seems like they've had to save basically every round of this game so far. Or this half, rather.
Yeah, fairly often as well. It's the B site that has been lost for them, even though they have 3 players there. And that wasn't anything particularly impressive from GODSENT in terms of the tactic they called. It was just straight up push out B. They got the timing right. They won the first few fights. And then AVANGAR were always scrambling to regain control of the rounds. And there we go. Twist is going to get a couple of exit kills. I also think it's worthwhile pointing out, generally I don't like to point out individual performances, but I'm only pointing out Buster having a poor game because he's been so good throughout this qualifier so far. He'd been AVANGAR's best performing player in this qualifier, and he'd also been the 7th best overall before this series. So the fact that he's bottom fragging for them, I think is quite a big issue. If he could step up, that would be a big thing. Having said that, did Kicker buy an AWP and drop it to Jame? What's going on here?
I think so, yeah. That's strange, but it does give them at least something to work with. Jame, I would have liked to have seen him trying to get something done with it early on. He was, I believe, towards Connector, trying to find an opening pick, but no one faced him towards that position. Or at least at that time they hadn't. There's no Jame aggressing towards mid. He is going to have 4 players in this position, so it's going to get dangerous, but he finds the first. Will be able to fall off. No trades so far for the GODSENT side, and he's allowed to actually get himself back towards the toilets and remain alive, albeit just about only 9 points of HP. But that's the kill that was needed to open this one up for AVANGAR and give them at least some sort of a chance to pull this round in their favour. GODSENT now with 4 players remaining. They are just going to take control of middle. All 4 players in this position. And Demasik actually towards long toilets could be in a position for a fast flank if they commit towards the A bomb site.
Well, on one hand, Jame is here holding A with the AWP, but on the other hand, he is on 9 HP, so 1 stray bullet would take him down. 1 HE grenade even would take him down, although that's not something GODSENT have to play with, but look at the flank. Demasik might just make the difference. Oh my god, he's going to get a free kill. There is the frag. He doesn't quite spot out multiple opponents. It could have been worse for GODSENT, but it's still pretty awful for them. A 3v5, and they're kind of choked in from all angles here. If AVANGAR just take their time, they might be able to win this one. The bomb goes down, smoke comes out, and Twist is going to push. This is dangerous, and he does lose his rifle. Roland and Freddy have a very, very tough position now. 2v5, they need a quick kill. It's not going to happen. It's a clean round for AVANGAR. And well, I don't know what that one AWP buy was, but whatever it was, it worked out. AVANGAR get their 13th round. I mean, GODSENT still have money, that's for sure, but a really nice round win for AVANGAR at this point.
Yeah, and doing so with very little investment other than that up, of course, means that after buying into this one fully, they will actually have quite a bit of money left over in the bank, other than on the Kickert, rather, since he dropped the hop in the previous round. But yeah, it's a pretty solid economy being built up, actually very similar to what we see over on the GODSENT side. So this round, it should be quite important. If AVANGAR take this one, GODSENT may be able to scrape a buyout on the one following, but then it gets dangerous. Both economies not really in a position to back up their teams for too long, really, as right now it is going to be GODSENT just going for a very similar round to the previous. 3 players focused on middle, 1 player in connector, and 1 left holding B for any aggression, as right now JM just continuing with his aggressive stance with the Oppie. He's just going to be hanging around in the toilets, hoping to try and get himself an opening kill. As Kickert could get dangerous if he had a spam shooter, may have been able to take down Freddy, but or at least some damage, as right now the T is finally inching forward, doing so very slowly though, as they do look to try and group up towards middle, it seems, where currently only 2 players are going to be in position for the AVANGAR side to try and hold this down.
Again though, one of them is Jane with that AWP. Like I said that, they're not really watching A long right now. That could be something to watch out for, depending on how the timing works out. It's interesting, because Demasik is in towards bathrooms, and now you see, if you look at the map, James has somewhat repositioned. He's gone back in towards banks, so he can watch towards A long. Having said that, the Swedes are electing to take this round very slowly. We saw them previously struggle with their slow play out towards B, but they might not struggle this time around, because again, they've got that opening pick. Having said that, again, the bomb is leaning towards the B site, where there are 3 AVANGAR players. With 27 seconds left, GODSENT need to go for something here. They're still very spread across the map.
Yeah, but the bomb outside of B should be able to actually get on towards this site quite easily, unless Crizzen steps up massively. So let's see if that's going to happen. But no, Freddy B, he walks right in, finds that opening headshot. Roland taking down the players towards A means this round will go in favor of GODSENT, unless somehow the bomb plant is denied. But I don't think it's possible. And Discord Upland finding that final headshot right around towards Kickert. So GODSENT been able to take that round, resetting the economy of AVANGAR. They can still scrape a buyout, of course, thanks to winning the eco round for themselves, but it's not amazing if they're to lose this one. Then they'll be forced back onto the eco, and GODSENT would be likely able to equalize the scoreline before the weapons come out once again. So a very important gun round right now for both sides, perhaps one of the most important so far of this game, as GODSENT seems like this time not really putting much focus on middle. Instead it's out towards B, not really aggressive either, as they do just group up with 3 players. Bomb going to be left in this position. There was 1 player originally towards connector also, but as he makes his way back outside of B, I think this gives a bit of an indicator of how this round may go. Looks like they will be trying to hit towards the B bomb site, which, as you mentioned, has been a bit of a weakness for AVANGAR.
Yeah, I didn't quite get to see how in the previous round the A Fate worked so well with 2 players. But, oh, Crizzen gets that opening kill on the edge of the smoke. He gets that first headshot. Twist won't be too pleased about that one, as he goes down early into the push. And GODSENT now might not even go for the push just yet. There we go, though. The flash comes in, and Disco does get that trade back. That was an important frag to find. And again, it's Buster struggling to convert kills. He's still stuck on 7 frags. Either way, that means the rest of the AVANGAR players that are alive are the ones that have been performing well. Crizzen is going to prove that. He gets his 2nd and his 3rd. Crizzen finding easy frags. And AVANGAR up in a 3v1, almost certainly have this round in the bag. Unless Hampus makes some sort of insane play, but that won't be happening. AVANGAR 14-11 to the good. Unfortunately for them, they've not quite broken GODSENT's economy yet, though. The buy will come through.
Yeah, but they are going to actually invest everything into this one. But what I like to see is that Twist is finally going to have an up into his hands. So let's see what he's going to be able to get done with this one. He will be facing off against JM, of course. And we have seen him when he did have it early on into the game. He had quite a bit of success winning out those fights. So let's see if he's going to be able to do so now on the T side. Nice nade to start it off, though. AVANGAR throw that in towards middle and do so much damage in the aggression. Not expected by GODSENT, but Brolan. Double spray down as he lines up the players. Puts the advantage in favour of GODSENT. As now, AVANGAR, what are they going to be able to do to bring this one back? They're on the back foot. Their economy, of course, still not amazing. If they lose this round, GODSENT, they'll be in a really good position once again, as AVANGAR Seems like they will go for a bit of a gamble, stacking an extra player towards the A bomb site, but James gets taken down by FreddyB as now GODSENT working with twice the manpower of their opponents. Looks like they will just immediately try and overwhelm this A bomb site, but Buster, he's getting it done, takes down Disco Doplan and FreddyB as neither player was looking towards that part of the site. And it seems like now GODSENT, they will change their plan. They are going to retreat back down through Connector and try and take over the B bomb site, which currently has no defenders. So they should be able to at least get on towards the site and get the bomb down, as now it's going to be all up to the retake.
This could be a huge time for Buster to step up. Having said that, Twist also steps up with the AWP. As I was saying though, Buster, he's been quiet so far. A 1v2 here would go a long way to getting a Vanguard this win. They would be up to map point. Having said that, Twist says no. That AWP again finding success for him. I can't really remember a round where he's had that AWP and he's not been able to frag with it. Up to 24 kills now, and Brolan also joining him. And to be honest, that was really worrying for GODSENT at the start of the round, but it kind of worked out perfectly for them because Hampus, the player who took the nade down to half HP, went down, got the info, and allowed Brolan to get an easy double trade. And as soon as that spray down came in, GODSENT were always going to be big favorites to take the round. So now a Vanguard with only pistols left. I mean, if GODSENT lose this round, I won't eat a shoe, but you get my point. Hampus gets a double entry. Okay, nice start. Kicker, though, gets a kill back. And AK picked up. They're going to try and hunt him down. Oh my god, that was dangerous there. Twist had to go with the Glock. This is a very scrappy round here, and this should favor the pistols as James gets another headshot. This has gone horribly wrong for GODSENT. They're going to push Connector, and Disco Doplan does get that spray down. But again, Vanguard did very well just to make that a scrappy round. That's exactly what they wanted in Connector, and they brought it down to a winnable position.
Yeah, that was really nice, actually. They were able to get a lot of damage in, but still, their economy into this round is not amazing. So likely they are just going to go ahead and put a small investment into this one, spend what they can, make sure they keep enough economy for the following round to get the full buyout, and we should see GODSENT taking a 14th. But then again, the previous round that was quite close, this time they have actually quite a bit more to work with, including a decent amount of utility, and a nice nade towards middle by James. Hampus taking down to 64. But right now, with most of their focus towards A, once again, it will be the CT side themselves with a bit of a gamble. They've stacked 2 players in Connector and 3 towards the B bomb site, so let's see if GODSENT are going to be able to actually capitalize on this one. They do tend to favor that B bomb site usually, so I guess AVANGAR hoping that they will once again. But right now, no real indication of where GODSENT are going to take this one. Plenty of time to work with.
Again, against the pistols, so they're going to want to make sure that this round isn't quite as scrappy. Looks like it may be, because James got that first, and Demasik gets a headshot from Connector. He was in a great position to just bait his teammate. Not necessarily even bait James, just use the information GODSENT had and force the push to get the trades. So now Demasik with the AK in hand could make a play, and the boost is so good. You don't see that too often, but Kicker gets another free kill. The push has also come in through Connector. I was going to say Demasik might spot the bomb, but that won't be happening now. Disco has taken him down. It's Disco, Doplan, and Twist, the 2 players left for GODSENT. The two of the most veteran players, really, who have to get this to work for them. With GODSENT being pushed out through B, they might be able to isolate these fights. 25 seconds. GODSENT need to get a move on.
Crizzen, he finds the bomb. That is going to be the round now. I don't think there's anything that can be done by Twist. Unlikely he can retrieve the bomb and take it to the bomb site. So AVANGAR getting themselves up to map point, and once again they're able to take it with a very weak buy. That's the second time now we've seen AVANGAR picking up an eco round. And yeah, that's just slightly favouring this game in favour of AVANGAR. You mentioned in the first game there was a lot of close rounds. This time, GODSENT not been able to actually successfully pull off those anti-ecos is what has put them in a really bad position. We've seen at least 3 of them being lost. The one after the first pistol round, of course, being perhaps the most important one. Instead, AVANGAR were able to chain 9 rounds together. As now, with a very weak buy, GODSENT have to try and keep themselves alive into this one. Reminder, AVANGAR took that first map. And if they take this one, the series is going to be over, and GODSENT, I believe, will be eliminated. So let's see what they're going to be able to get done. Right now, they will be looking to go a bit aggressive over towards A, perhaps, as they do group up towards middle. Look to try and find some opening kills, but James with the op, he's posted up on this position, isn't actually going to be able to connect that shot, receive some damage, and because of that, it looks like he's going to just fall back towards the bomb site instead and work with his teammate Demasik, who's also located in the toilets.
Yeah, this is indeed the second elimination match here in Group C. The winner gets to play attacks, alternate attacks that is, for a chance to go through. The loser is out. And GODSENT, considering the bye they have, I would not like to be in their position right now. They have to win this round. It's as simple as that. And they're going to try and group up around the B site. That might work for them with how passive the CETs are playing, but Kicker has got a kill out towards A. So now it's all up to this B push, which is now coming in. 45 seconds, a couple of nades going out, but Buster gets a kill. The frags are coming in. This is over, folks. Freddy B has nothing to do. AVANGAR will be winning the series 2-0. Kind of upsetting everyone, I think, here. Let's go back to the desk and see what they have to think about that AVANGAR win.
And AVANGAR managed to do it. They eliminate GODSENT from Farmskins Championship Season 2, and they're out of qualifier as well, so they will not advance further. Congrats to AVANGAR, though. They will advance further and they will go against alternate attacks for that final one spot.